Good day everyone, Steg Jacobs here, and today we're going to be trying out some more gameplay commentary stuff. So...
Try not to get yourself blown up out there, tough guy.
I'll do my best.
As much as it's going to pain me, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the voice volume. And also, let's see what else. I'm pretty sure it might be a little bit too dark for YouTube. Let me see. What am I looking for? Here we go, color options. Okay, so normally I play with Vivid. Let's go ahead and try doing standard for once, just to see if that comes out any better. A little bit better. So, we're playing BFE Enhanced. And we actually started off with Unearthing the Sun, which is where the game starts to get a little bit difficult. The main reason I'm starting here is just so that we can kind of go over some basics about how the gameplay works, tips, things like that. Let me know if you like this kind of video and if you want to see more stuff like this, or if you don't. I do plan on doing like a Q&A type video sometime in the future, so be sure to leave any questions that you have for me down in the comments below. Right, so first topic we're going to talk about is keeping track of damage. So, in the distance we have a scrapjack. They always take 3 shots from this lovely little thing here. Of course, reptiloids, same deal. Kamikazes and all other beheaded variants always take 2 pistol shots. Of course, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, no shit, but it's important that we talk about this kind of stuff because this really is what will kind of get you to become a better player, is keeping track of how much damage an enemy takes. There we go. Of course, 2 rockets for you, 5 for you. Alright, and now that we cleared out some of the bigger enemies, we can focus on these. So they take 4 bullets to put down, or 1 shotgun shell. So it's not really any difficult math involved or anything, it's mostly just keeping track of how much damage an enemy takes, and the best way to do that is by using the rocket launcher / devastator, since they both do roughly the same damage. Now, I don't know if you noticed or not, but in every single Serious Sam game that's made by Crow Team, you always get the rocket launcher from the beginning. And the reason for that is because rockets, they do about 150 damage each, and they're a good way to kind of, you know, get a sense for how much damage an enemy takes, especially the bigger ones like water balls. Also, I'm not sure why the game is lagging out right now. Kinda wish it wouldn't. Makes playing it a bit more difficult. And not in a fair way. Honestly, I don't know how good this looks for YouTube. I still think it might be a little bit too dark. And the laser soldier enemies kinda do blend into the background, even for me. So yeah, that's my first tip. Basically just use a rocket launcher and shoot enemies. Sounds simple, right? Just go, count how many rockets it takes to kill something, and you'll be surprised. All the other stuff like dodging, accuracy, what weapon to use, all that stuff kind of comes later. It just comes with practice, but first thing you want to familiarize yourself is just how many rockets it takes to, or how much damage enemies can take. So, all beheaded, 2 bullets. Of course, when you're using an automatic weapon like the assault rifle, it doesn't really matter. And even though, you know, automatic weapons, you usually tend to kind of spray them, knowing how many bullets these fodder enemies take is still important because it kind of gives you a sense of how long your burst should be. And of course, yeah, the fact that Serious Sam has that very nice feature where the health bar is displayed on the crosshair definitely helps as well. So yeah, I'm just kind of chilling right now. Decided I'd record this for you guys. BFE Enhanced is probably one of my favorite campaigns. If you haven't played it and you're a fan of Serious Sam, I would definitely recommend trying this out. It's actually the thing that kind of got me into Serious Sam in the first place. Believe it or not. I don't know, it's something about like I guess like the best word to describe Serious Sam, at least the older games, is they're consistent. Like enemies, they take an exact amount of damage to put down. The weapons, they all serve different uses. It all just blends together so seamlessly. I might try going for all secrets. And I actually have no idea for how long I'm gonna be playing this. Could be an hour, could be 30 minutes. I don't know. I guess I'll just see how I feel after I beat this level. If I beat this level. It's actually pretty difficult. So I believe that there's a few secrets in this opening courtyard. There's that one, there's this one, there's a secret minigun, and some minigun ammo coming up. For me, BFE Enhanced is kind of like the best version of Serious Sam 3 you can play. It basically keeps all the good stuff the Crow team had in there, and it removes all the bad stuff. So the good level design, that's all intact. You know, there's no weird custom fan-made levels like, you know, BFE Ultimate or the Ultimate series has. The enemies have been changed, obviously, so now you have more variety in the enemy types, less hit scanners. Those lag spikes are super annoying. I wish those would go away. Laser rifle's gonna be your best friend in this area. Unlike the minigun, it doesn't have a spin up. It does comparable damage to the minigun. And, speaking of which, we don't even have the minigun yet, so... The main thing is that it doesn't have a spin. Or doesn't have like a wind-up time before it fires. So basically this allows you to, you know, open up on targets that may surprise you. So the important thing about counting rockets on enemies and kind of learning how much damage they do is you can apply it to the other weapons. So the super shotgun does roughly the same damage as a rocket, only difference is it fires slower, and of course there's no splash damage. So better for close range. Devastator has a super fast fire rate, does a little bit extra damage than the rocket launcher. I think the rocket launcher does like 150 damage. Devastator does 160 per bolt, I think. Better for longer distance engagements. Also, it has that piercing effect like the cannon does, so you can use a single round to just devastate groups of clear, thin them out. Also, I'm not sure why the battle music's still going. Where's the last enemy? Oh, there it is. No, it's still... Ah, there it goes, it stopped. Okay. So that's pretty much this entire first part done. We're going to go ahead and just move into the catacomb area here. These underground sections, of course, aren't the best decision Crow Team ever made, but it's a part of the level, so we kind of have to do it. There we go. And this area is, of course, super dark. I am very sorry for anyone that has to watch this on YouTube, or on their phone, rather. Now, this secret's actually a little bit interesting because you can miss it. As in, if you don't grab it and you fall down, you actually can't get back up here. Of course, the monkeys, I'm also not a huge fan of them. Although I will say that they do have very satisfying death sounds. They're not fun to fight, but I mean, killing them always feels nice. That's one thing Crow Team always gets right, is making enemies fun to shoot. It's also one of the reasons I'm not really a huge fan of custom enemies in maps. I like the base roster. Although this map will make an exception. Or campaign, rather. Yeah, this is insanely dark. I can't see anything. Let me go back to the vivid color really quick. No, it's not under sound options, it's under graphics. And then I might boost the brightness just a tad. Let's see if how that looks. And it's still kind of dark. Hold on. Once more. I don't want to raise it too much because then everything becomes kind of washed out. Ew. Yeah, no, it doesn't look good. I'll just put it back on Vivid. That's what I normally play with anyway. Yeah. Let's just clear out these monkeys. I don't like them. So going back a little bit to what I was talking about with enemy damage. Yeah, basically Super Shotgun, Devastator, Sniper Rifle, those all kind of work around the same damage model that the rocket launcher does, which is why you're given it first. It's usually always in the first level. Hell, even Serious Sam 2 had it in the first level. So, should tell you that it's a pretty important weapon. And it's important for a number of reasons. I mean, it kind of teaches you a little bit about splash damage, self-preservation, when to use it, and of course the all-important notion of counting enemy health. It's kind of like counting sheep. It's like, how many rockets does it take down? Or it's like, how many rockets does it take to kill a Canoom? Well, answer's 10. Of course, Biomech Major, 5. Minor, 1 rocket. Scrapjack, 3 rockets, give or take. Usually takes like an extra pistol bullet to put them down, but for sake of argument, we'll just say 3. And if you look at the C4 charges, I think the splash damage of a C4 is 300. However, if you actually manage to stick the C4 to something, it does the equivalent of 5 rockets. So basically you can plunk away at a Biomech Major with the rocket launcher, shoot 5 rockets, or if you're close enough, you can just stick a C4 charge to him and kill him instantly. Same thing with the cannonball. Cannonball, oh, speaking of cannonballs, There's some secret ones here. Basically, a fully charged cannonball also does the same amount of damage as about 5 rockets tied together would. Alright, almost done with this terrible section, and then we get to go to the courtyard. I should have just used the Devastator. I don't know what I was thinking. There we go. I damaged him slightly with the lasers, but normally he takes 6 rockets, or 6 Devastator shots. Yeah, so that's really the best advice I can give if you're new to Serious Sam, is focus on counting rockets. Just kind of get a feel for how long it takes to kill an enemy, or how much damage they can take before they go down. The dodging, the accuracy, the weapon situational awareness, all that kind of stuff, that mostly just comes through repeated playthroughs and just practice. Of course, I've already talked about this slightly in a few of my other videos, but the fusion port of Serious Sam 3 allows you to do a few things that are pretty amazing, such as being able to cancel the reload animation. So basically, all you need to do is press the fire key while the reload animation is going on and you can cancel it. The only time that doesn't work is if you actually fully deplete a magazine. So, just for sake of argument, shoot off all 50 rounds. You actually can't skip the reload animation until it completes all the way. Otherwise, you can basically fire as soon as the magazine goes back into the gun. I almost forgot what to call it there. It's a gun. Yeah. That's one thing I wish Serious Sam 4 had, is, yeah, like the ability to cancel the reload by shooting again. It's such a useful feature. Instead, you kind of have like the stupid skill tree. Before I activate the Pinky secret, there's a clear. It sounds like he's stuck. There we go. I faked him into leaping. Ow. Now, another interesting thing, which mostly just comes through, playing the game a lot of times, is you'll kind of notice that some enemies actually have built-in damage resistances. So, normally a super shotgun's enough to take down a clear, same as one rocket. However, against biomech miners, they actually do have like a slight damage resistance to the super shotgun, so basically they take the equivalent of 3 shotgun shells, and so basically you can shoot them once with this, switch to the shotgun to finish them off, use 1 rocket, or you can just shoot them twice with the double shotgun. And we're just gonna hose these guys with lasers, so that when they fire a projectile, if they fire a projectile, then it'll break, and we don't have to worry about it. Sniper rifle's good against the reptiles, but I prefer to use laser gun, mostly because it just really helps in getting rid of those projectiles. Plus, if you kind of strafe back and forth while shooting, it creates like a little laser wall that they can't dodge. It also does decent damage against biomechs and other things. It's just a good all-purpose weapon. Still kind of a shame that you didn't get to use it that much in Serious Sam 4. I don't know why, but I always feel like Crow Team is super reluctant to let you have fun in their games. The newer ones, it is. I mean, the classic titles, obviously they gave you like the right tools, and they're recognized as classics because they're fun, hardcore, all that good stuff. But ever since BFE, like, I don't know, something about like the way they do things, like Devastator, you don't usually get that in the base game until I think level 8. Like, it's super far into the game. Same thing with like the Death Ray and Serious Sam 4, I mean, you only get it twice. No, actually, well, no, yeah, I'm right, you only get it twice. Basically, you only get the laser rifle for 3 levels, and the Death Ray actually is in the final French level, and also in the... what's the other one? In the final level. So yeah, I don't know what it is with Crow Team, but they just don't like giving you guns. They like holding on to them. And I'm like, why? This is Serious Sam. Give me the gun, give me a whole bunch of enemies to shoot. Give me the gun early on and give me, like, just an army of enemies to fight. That's what I want. Fortunately, Master Chief is working on that nice little mod, Serious Sam 4 reworked, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And it's shaping up nicely, I do say so myself. Oh, speaking of which, we're gonna super shotgun these guys. Do it the old classic Doom style. Normally Sam says, "You guys don't know it yet, but you're seriously doomed." I love his dialogue in this game. You know what? I'm gonna turn it back on. I like his dialogue too much. I might lower it just a tad though. There. And these micro pauses are the worst. I wish it would go away. I notice that sometimes when I hit the record button, it doesn't happen. Other times it does. So yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that one. And I was just checking to make sure the microphone was turned on because I did actually attempt this level before and I forgot to turn on the microphone, so yeah. Of course not everyone likes my commentaries, but decided I'd try something different. It's not like it's entirely new. I've done commentaries before. Alright, so now we get the Mega Health and Armor, and I'll just grab an Armor Shard because why not? And then we get to enter this horrible fight, which I'm going to use the Devastator for. Alright, and then I'm actually going to use the minigun to take care of the laser soldiers. I can't really see them too well, so I doubt you can. There we go. Okay, and I think there's only a few left, so I'll just switch over to the assault rifle and take care of them. So, in the Dug Up Dig site, the other level that I did commentary for, I kind of mentioned how biomechs act like laser walls. Well, of course laser soldiers also fire lasers, so when they're alone like that, they're not really a huge threat. The problem stems when they throw like a lot of them at you at the same time. Like, these things are pretty deadly. You want to take care of them as soon as possible so that they don't crowd up your space with lasers. That way you also have more room to dodge. I like them. I think they're definitely better than, you know, the regular hit scanning soldiers. It adds like a little bit more variety to the gameplay. Plus they have a nice little death sound. They go, ooh. Is that how they go? They go, ooh. Sniper rifle is still the best for taking out pretty much everything. I seriously did like a swan dive to catch that guy's laser. Ow, what a... Yeah, Devastator and Sniper Rifle are the two best here. If I use a rocket launcher, they'd probably move before the rocket reaches them. I think I'll switch over to the rocket launcher though, just to deal with these. And then shoot one down the middle. There we go. Make that two. Oh, these lag spikes are the death of me. Sometimes it kind of just stops, other times like it'll go through the entire playthrough, other times it won't happen. So I'm really hoping it just decides to go away. Oh yeah, and as far as I can remember, there's no secrets in this area. All the remaining secrets are actually out here. I hope I'm right. I think I'm right. I guess we'll find out. Alright, so demons. Anyone who's watched my second encounter playthrough knows that I don't like demons. They have the worst projectiles in the game. Funny enough, in Serious Sam Classic, their projectiles aren't that bad because they usually break on contact. In the HD games, for whatever reason, the projectiles glance off of walls, like they don't break. They more or less just kind of ricochet off of walls and objects and other kinds of stuff. Okay, that's a lot of laser soldiers, and I can't really see them too well, so I'm just going to use the minigun and kind of tap at them from far away. I don't know how many there are, but judging by the amount of lasers, I'd say there's quite a few. And since we don't technically get the minigun until, I believe, the next level, I kind of want to get rid of the ammo for it. I'm lazy. I want to switch to the assault rifle by pressing the W key once. I don't want to press it twice. It's actually been quite a while since I played this level, so I'm really hoping I'm right, and that the last secrets are, in fact, out here. My god, so many laser soldiers. Just quit it. Oh no, and a demon. And a lag spike. The two worst things ever. A laggy demon. I need to invest in some of those O-ring things that you put under your keycaps so that my keyboard doesn't click so loudly.